So what we're going to talk about now are the 3 mental strategies that I've personally used, and I consider the key to why I have been able to generate $100 million in revenue with my businesses online. And I've got 3 bonus strategies. They're mental strategies that I actually see people using every day that is poisoning their success. So 3 bad ones that you want to get rid of and 3 good ones that you want to utilize. And in my success and in my failures as well, but in both sides of this, what I have found is my mindset and my mental strategy, the way my approach, how I think about things and how I approach my business, how I think about my business, and the methods and strategies I use to operate it are far more important than a unique gimmick for traffic strategy, let's say, or a brand new shiny way of selling products online, or a new way of communicating with your customers with chatbots or whatever that might be. All of these are awesome and they do help you succeed, but by far the thing that I know that helped me succeed was my mental outlook on how I approached my business. And I think that many people that I see struggling, it's because they don't have this quite worked out. And there's a few reasons for this. Some of them might not be your fault at all. It might be, there's plenty of greedy marketers out in the world that give a lot of us the wrong mindset. They actually, it's like a little poison pill that bad mindset can leak in. And it often comes from, aggressive marketers and salespeople who might say things that are just not true. And they actually leak into your thinking and poison your success. So let's get to the 3 that you can adopt and how you approach your mental mindset towards your online business that are going to make all the difference. Okay. So the first one sounds a little weird. Do it before you know it. What do I mean by that? Well, throughout my career, I've had to jump in and learn things that I knew nothing about, whether it was about email marketing, how to use a new advertising platform, how to get my website set up, how to find an expert that I need to hire in order to get my website set up, strategies on how to sell, strategies on how to write copy. When I started, I knew none of these things. I was just a small business owner. I had a little offline traditional business, and then I jumped online and I knew nothing about any of this stuff when I first started. And the thing that I think is most important in my success is that I didn't worry about having to learn each and everything perfectly before I took action. Many times I got into action taking before I knew a damn thing, just to call it how it is, right? It's time to run ads. Okay, let's go create an account over on Google AdWords, or back then it was goto.com, where I first started running ads. And so I would create my account, log into the platform. I didn't know how to start. I didn't know what to do. I just poked around. I started looking through their help guides, and then I would go look. Back then you could sometimes find blog posts or how-to articles. And today you've got a wealth of other places you can turn to. But it's odd in what I'm going to tell you is that you want to take action first. And when you encounter a barrier that you can't figure out, then you figure that out and go to the next little step and then the next. But act first, learn second. Again, it's odd. It's sometimes hard to get your mind set that way because by our human nature, I think, is that we want to know all about something because of fear, right? Fear of what might happen bad. And you have to get over that and get to the point where you'll take action and then learn as you go, step by step, only when you need to know. Oftentimes, some of my biggest successes, in fact, the single biggest success I've had online was because I kind of stumbled like a bull in a china cabinet, right? Or a china shop. I'm stumbling my way through, breaking lots of stuff in the process. But I got to the success versus if I would have sat around trying to study and learn and look for exact step-by-step how-to guides or, trying to find a person who would tell me step-by-step how to do it, I would have never succeeded. I would have never made it. Instead, I fumbled my way through and found success. And all you do is make a mistake, learn from it, fix it, improve it, and keep moving. And if you're willing to do that and you can temporarily suspend a little bit of that anxiety, a little bit of that fear, push it aside and act anyway, even if you don't fully know exactly what you're supposed to do yet, just start taking action. Trust me, it will serve you well. And I've used it now for going on 25 years and it's served me extremely well. And it's a big reason why I've had success after success in my businesses. The next item in my mindset that I want to talk about, this is number 2, and that is kind of a contradiction. It is that you need to be relentless. What is that? What does relentless mean? Well, relentless is like you're just not going to let up, right? You are going to continue. You are going to persist. persist. If it takes 5 minutes or 5 months, you're going to continue. You are not going to falter. You are not going to fall down and stop and quit or slow down, but continue forward until that is done. And I take this to this day in everything I do. I am relentless, but at the same time, casual, which is a really weird thing to say because they sound almost contradictory, almost opposite, right? So you have to be relentless. You have to be going without fail. If your mind gets trapped in this place where you feel like you must succeed or you're a failure, which you can do accidentally, then you're going to fail. Your mind, it's a funny thing. If you can be relentless and at the same time be so casual that it's like, it's all just going to work out. I know it's going to work out. I'm just going to keep doing this. I'm going to keep learning, keep trying. I'm not going to get frazzled and frustrated. I'm going to be casual. And I just know with certainty that eventually I'm going to succeed. Maybe it'll take, again, 5 minutes. Maybe it'll take 5 months. But I know the next thing in front of me with certainty will be a success. I'll get through it. And I try to maintain that casual attitude. And every time I get into like feeling grumpy about it or excess frustration or feeling like, oh my God, I've got to do it, things start to go wrong. It's really interesting. We can get into a whole philosophical or spiritual discussion about why that is. But I have found it to be true that when you descend down and your attitude becomes one of kind of like a lower attitude of frustration and you've just got to make it happen or you feel like you're a failure, things just start to go wrong and it gets harder and harder. So if you can be relentless, but at the same time casual, like, something didn't quite work out, well, brush it off, keep on going. And just know that you will succeed. And that is number 2. So number 3 is be demanding of success, but realistic at the same time. You must demand of yourself and of those around you and those who work with you that you will have success. And you do need to set sky-high goals and make decisions that I'm building a successful business. Whatever that is for you. I'm building an e-commerce business that is going to generate me, $1 million a year in revenue. Whatever that goal is, that sky-high, big goal, like guys like Grant Cardone say to take your goal and 10x it, right? And that's true. You do need to have big sky-high goals and have a drive to succeed with those goals. But at the same time, you don't want to get to where you get into those lower mental states that I talked about a moment ago, where all of a sudden you're getting bummed out because you're not hitting your goals. You've missed your target. Now you're getting angry and frustrated. And then all of a sudden everything flips on you and things start to go wrong, okay? So you have to somehow balance those two out where you're doing these big, crazy, sky-high goals and you're empowering yourself and forcing yourself to succeed, but not allowing yourself to then be disappointed where you're going to fall apart and all of a sudden things start to go wrong. And that's what I call demanding of yourself success, but also being realistic all at once. Does that make sense? So those are the 3 positive side of this coin. And if we flip it around, there's some negatives on the opposite side. And unfortunately, it's all too common that entrepreneurs that are starting or trying to grow their businesses, especially early on, can get trapped with these poisonous mindsets and they ruin your chances of hitting your goals. First, don't overthink, don't overstudy, don't delay because of fear or anxiety. I see it all the time. But it's that sort of sense of worry that if you don't get it right, or it needs to be perfect, or you really need to understand something before you move forward. These are all things that will hold you back. But many times these things are rooted in feelings of anxiety, fear, worry, the like what would happen if, and play those things out in your mind, whether you're doing it consciously or subconsciously, and it holds you back. Because if you don't just start and you go forward, like I said, a bull in a china shop, right? Do before you know. I know people that have been trying to build internet businesses for years. I met someone the other day who's trying to build an internet business for a decade and they haven't moved forward. They have very little progress. They have many courses that they've bought. They've collected little bits of knowledge. Actually, some of them are quite knowledgeable along the way, but they never really fully took action and carried things all the way to the finish line. They always got sidetracked or quit or didn't finish for various reasons, and many times it's because of this. Which leads me to the next thing. Don't worry. Don't worry. That's number 2. Everyone else worries a little bit, and part of this is rooted in the number 3, which I'm going to cover in a moment. You put yourself in a position where your digital online business just has to succeed, and maybe you've set it up so that if you don't make money this month, you don't have enough money to pay your rent, and you're putting this all on your brand new business, and you're going to worry like crazy. You're going to descend down that emotional states from being places where you could be cheerful, enthusiastic, or going full steam ahead on your business, and instead you start going down in those lower emotional states where you're fearful, you're anxious, anxious, then you can't succeed from those lower emotional states. It's just almost impossible to do. And so don't set yourself up where you're constantly anxious and constantly worrying about that you don't have success right now. And so you get stuck in that phase of worry. Instead, organize your business, set up your goals and everything around that so that you don't have to worry. When your business succeeds, awesome. And this is especially true of brand new entrepreneurs, right? If you've got a business already going, right, obviously you have timelines and schedules and budgets and things to deal with. Early on, before you actually have even made your first dollar, well, you have to kind of relax a little bit. All right, that takes us to the final negative number 3, and that is don't bet the farm. All too often, I see people that they think that an internet business is their salvation, and they think they're going to buy a particular strategy or a tactic or a course or a system, and that somehow by magic, it's going to fix their own personal financial problems. That will never happen. Is it possible that you could have an overnight success? Absolutely. I've seen it over and over again. There are plenty of people that are shining examples of fast overnight success, but that's not the vast majority. The usual story is that it takes time to build and grow. And it means it takes time focused on one business over time with persistence, applying all the things that you just heard me talk about over a span of time to become successful. You need to set yourself up so that your digital business that you're building is not the thing that's going to save your financial life. Don't count on it to do that. That is a mistake. Instead, if you're finding yourself in a situation where you need quick cash, you got to get some money in the door to pay the rent, right? Or to fix your car or whatever situation you may be finding yourself in. Instead, you want to go for a side hustle. Now, I covered this in an earlier video. I'll link to it down below and I'll give you guys access to it. You can watch that. But a side hustle is something where you can make immediate income. You're exchanging, quickly exchanging either goods or services that are needed, wanted, and being shopped for right now. And you could get a quick income. And an example of these is I've seen people like flipping toys, like finding high in demand toys, buying them cheap, selling them high, right? And doing that like in places like Facebook Marketplace. Heck, I've seen people doing this with shoes, right? Sneakers, buying and selling sneakers to make some quick cash. Or services. There are so many services that you can either learn very quickly, like that's the video that I'll link to down below. It's a very easy to deliver service where you can help people and quickly get paid. Okay. Now you're not going to get rich and you're not going to build a giant $1 million business doing this, but you will bring cash in the door with one of these side hustles, and it can happen fast. So if you need fast income to handle your situation right now, then do a side hustle. Don't build a business. Maybe come back and build your business afterwards. Solve your immediate financial crisis and then come back to building your business. That is the right strategy. So don't bet the farm on a brand new business that is unproven, not established, still needs to get set up, still needs marketing, still needs testing, still needs money to be spent on traffic before you could even figure out what's going on. It's kind of a longer runway. So solve your immediate problem with a side hustle. Again, I'll link to the video down below, or I'll share it with those of you who are with me live here right now. I'll share that by email, but that is how you solve the immediate cash crunch, is with a side hustle, not a brand new business. If you're not yet a member of Push Button AI, then what are you doing? So I would like to invite you to a free masterclass. We're going to be covering in detail how to create an entire digital online course, an entire business, in fact, that can be set up 100% using AI. And if you'd like to attend that free masterclass, what you're going to want to do is head over right now to pushbutton.ai/free class. In that class, I'm going to show you how we can help two different kinds of people. Number one, if you've got a business and you want to add training, courses, or information to your existing business as a new profit center, or maybe a way to add value to your customers, then I'm going to show you how to do a detailed 10-module training course, including 50 to 60,000 words of content. Have it set up and built for you by AI. Also, if you're trying to start your first business online and you're looking for a great business model to make some money online, then Push Button AI is the right solution. And I'll show you how you can use this amazing tool to build an entire business like that. In a snap, Push Button AI will build an entire course for you, create video training, audio training, write your sales page for you, write 30 days of emails for you, create your logo, build your website, set up your shopping cart, set the entire thing up, create a members area so that people can pay you to get access to the course, and you get to charge money and keep all the profits. It's quite easy. You answer 2 questions and you hit a button, and it literally does everything for you. A logo, a 30-day email sequence, your sales pages for selling your product. It creates the entire training course that you can charge money for. It installs your website, sets up your hosting, launches your site. It even helps you pick the perfect domain name, all powered by AI. You just literally log in and start up your brand new business. So attend the free masterclass. I'll show you a live demo of how it works. I'll explain the entire business model so you can see exactly how does it work and how do you profit. That's pushbutton.ai/free class. Don't forget, hit the subscribe button. You'll see it down below the video down there somewhere. Hit subscribe, hit the like button, and actually we'll make sure that you're notified next time that we go live. We release content all throughout the week, by the way, so we have videos on additional strategies and tactics we'll be dropping to you all week long. Check out all of our useful content. Head over to pushbutton.ai/free class if you're not yet a customer. Every paying customer, we're going to be taking today's training. We'll take all the prompts, all the resources, everything that you need to use it, and we're going to put it in your paid members area. So you'll see it in your AI profits course inside your members area. On that note, I'll see you there. Bye for now.